User joined your channel.
Hello. Hello. Oh. Silly pants. Mm. All right. Wait, are we? Oh, this is live. We're live.
This is live. We're doing it. Welcome.
Did we
to,
do the introduction?
We're doing it right now. Welcome to week 6 of the Swain Batty League. My name is just Dan, and with me is 30 to open up the stream. Hey, 30.
User joined your channel.
Hello.
So right off the bat, let's talk about these MVPs for this week, or for last week, I should say. I mean, not much to say.
Well,
sports.
Quick question. So, are we good to go? Is the stream ready?
Stream is up right now, you silly goose.
Okay. Okay. Well, then I'm gonna tell them to get started while we talk about this. Yeah. So, MVPs.
I mean, obviously, cool. We got Respect on his sick, nasty Thresh. Hooking all the baddies. So you're telling me there were 2 Thresh
User
MVPs.
Joined your channel.
All of these MVPs have hooks. Conspiracy. Analysis all fade into the distance.
Bye, Dan. Hey, welcome, Alice.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you? So we haven't really done too much here. We're just talking about the MVPs. Have you seen do you have the list of these?
I do not. I am running fashionably late, minute late. So who is the MVPs this week?
So, and it's gone, but I remember it, don't worry. So last week, game 1 was Respect on Thresh. Obviously a champion that he's very well known for. Big playmaking potential. Game 2 was myself on Nautilus, another support champion with a hook. And then game 3, hat trick, tree support as Thresh again.
Hooks and supports, got it.
Hooks and supports, those are all the MVPs. I think my MVP was really rewarded just because I came back to the support role. I mean, I didn't play like spectacularly, but it's nice. It's nice to see. But yeah, let's jump right into this game here, folks. We have on the blue side, we have SS Boosted Friendship, and on the red side, we have Waifu Superstar. SS Boosted Friendship is 2-3 on the season, and Waifu Superstar is currently leading the league at 4-1. And just to bring up, before we get too deep into this, we have an actual booster on the team SS Boosted Friendship. It's Zhao Wei Zhao making his SBL introduction.
Yeah, no. He actually trolled me. I got a message from Zhao Shao, so it's like, oh hey, it's like, long time no talk, and I was like, you're not banned? and then all of a sudden I was like, then also I saw it in the lobby, I was like, oh, that's dub. Fucking. So
yes, and
I was trolled.
Jump if some viewers for some reason don't know that. But just to set up the storylines here, we have SS Boosted Friendship. They are second to last in the league at 2-3, but they had a lot of off weeks. They played Cheeseburger in 2 weeks, and in those 2 weeks they lost. So now that they really have their full lineup all here ready to rock, I think we're going to see a lot better performances out of them. I think this is going to be a very good match today against Waifu Superstar.
Also, to continue on that, one of their only wins was with their full roster against this Waifu Superstar team.
Oh, yes. That's the best part of the storyline, really.
Yeah,
this is the only team that has shown so far that they can take down this Waifu Superstar lineup.
Yeah, no, it would be very interesting to see how this goes.
Yeah. As far as the bands go, I really love this band, the bands out of SS Boosted Friendship. They banned Sivir, Renekton, Sejuani. Obviously, Sivir right now, very top tier ADC pick, especially in the SBL. where you just gotta press R and it makes comps work. Renekton, obviously Swift's main go-to champ. He has had an amazing performance, or at least one amazing performance this season on that. And then Sejuani ban, which thank God some team in this league is finally taking out these tank junglers from Kraken, because he has performed incredibly well, and it's just really made all their team comps just flow very easily. And taking that away, well, now they gotta think of something new here.
I also like the fact that they took the Sejuani ban after Waifu Superstar banned Gragas away from Dubtrum, because they saw the Gragas ban, and they're like, okay, well, we've only seen Kraken play Gragas and Sejuani. We should definitely do the Sejuani ban. I really, really like that. I don't know if that's something they were just planning on coming in anyways, or like, but the fact that they sandbagged until the end was really nice. I really do like what they did with that.
Yeah, it matters in these instances, like the order in which you ban champions. But wow, with this, they are flying through this draft already. Waifu Superstar, I guess first pick overall was Poppy going over to Zhao Zhao.
Did we touch on Waifu Superstar's bans?
Oh no, yes.
Because I'm also a big fan of those, actually. I think there are 3 very clear target bans, but they're all very powerful in current meta, and they have been the most successful for each of those champions. So.
Yeah, and Thor had an amazing Azir game last week.
Yeah, no, he did very, very well on it, and
So first pick overall was that Poppy to Zhao Zhao that is going to be going to the top lane, it looks like, now that they have all their champs locked in.
Yeah, definitely top lane Poppy.
Yeah,
on the way's been a long time fan of that champion.
Yeah, and good thing he's getting it in now before she's totally gutted and removed from the game. Thanks, Riot. Balanced team. To round out their composition, they have Rek'Sai in the jungle, which is a champion we don't see often nowadays. She has been kind of in a weak spot. But Dubdrum is always a fan of her. I believe last season he played a lot of Rek'Sai when she was a lot more popular. In the mid lane, you have very classic Thor on Corki. And then their bottom lane is Vayne Janna, which is I am hyped for this bottom lane. Everyone just loves watching Vayne, but Evolite and Resquect, if they were gonna, these are the 2 players in this league that actually know how to probably pull this lane off and not lose the game based off these picks.
Yeah. Very big fans of that, and they're against a Alistar Caitlyn bot lane, which is a very solid lane at bullying that, but has to be, and because Alistar is able to disengage the quick all-ins where Janna Vayne is able to normally win, Caitlyn's able to lay down a lot of poke onto the Vayne with that extra 100 auto range.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure since Vayne was put into the game, Caitlyn has been the El Clasico counter essentially.
Yeah,
Caitlyn has against Vayne, and Salvo's no stranger to Caitlyn. Caitlyn's actually just not played a lot nowadays, so maybe something he hasn't really been practicing, but obviously picked it in reaction to the Vayne pick. And then rounding out Waifu Superstars lineup is you got Kragan on Jungle Elise, Wang as Ahri in the mid lane, another default mid champ for a lot of players in this league actually, and then the Nasus. The second week in a row we see a top lane Nasus, and Swift is taking his try at it. It did not go well last week for Scotch on the Nasus. What do you think of this pick?
If they didn't have a Vayne, I'd like it a lot more, but I was not paying attention 100% during the pick order, so they might have picked it before the Vayne. In which case, I think that's a very fine pickup. Poppy is one of those champions that just gets stupid tanky, and so I think that can do very, very well. And also to backtrack more towards the Caitlyn is picked up a little bit more recently, where once people started realizing that Hurricane isn't just an item for Kalista now, because it basically has this... well, because a lot of people at the beginning of the season didn't realize that when they reworked Hurricane with all the other AD carry items, it basically has the same stats as Static Shiv or Phantom Dancer or Rapid Fire Cannon. They all have those similar baseline stats of some attack speed, some crit, and it's very similar. It's actually got better stats than some of them, but they all just have different passives. And it's been really, really good on Caitlyn because it generates the headshots. You can get a headshot every 3 autos, or every other auto if you're in a bush.
Wow, that's incredible. Isn't headshot? Is it extra critical damage or is it armor penetration?
I think they actually changed it at the with the Caitlyn, with the AD carry reworks. So I may be completely wrong on this. but I'm pretty sure it has like a bunch of bonus physical damage is what it is.
Yep.
It's
50%
just like
extra plus some.
it does it scale off like crit chance or something
Yeah,
as well.
bonus critical damage. Yeah, and
Okay.
with crit chance as a modifier as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So in the late game, I mean, that actually makes Caitlyn a good late game carry now.
No, it really does. I mean, the headshot damage is like really, really big. Really glad that you looked that up to confirm because I was like trying to remember because it used to be it was an automatic crit and then they switched it so it's just like bonus damage and then they like switched it around again. They changed it like 2 or 3 times, so
Yeah,
very, very interesting.
And this is, at least in my memory, this is the first week where Waifu Superstar really isn't bringing this huge straight wombo combo team, and it's always been highlighted, or I guess the main initiation tools always come from Craig. He's always been the Gragas, he's always been Sejuani.
Yeah.
He's been these huge late game engage tanks, but now this week he's playing something of a little different flavor. I mean, he's playing at least very good early game ganker, but then late game really just becomes a stun bot and not the most effective engager. Why do you think they went away from this strategy?
I'm 100% sure. I think like this team has beat them before, and out of all the other teams they did, they've always been like this like AOE. We want to dive you and fight you comps, and like we've seen like their bot lane like there's like they've always had the same role for every single person. Like AJSR is going to be like this like solo lane champion that becomes a strong split pusher. Wang's going to be this AOE, and then Kragen's going to be this AOE. And they switched up Wang and Kragen this time. If you noticed that, which are always like have been the big 2 AOE elements of their team.
Right.
So I think they might be just trying to go on for more of a pick strategy. They know that this boosted friendship team is able to work the map well when they have all 5 people and they're communicating well. And I think that because they think that this team will be willing to go into more macro-oriented gameplay, they can try to use a pick comp to their advantage to catch them on rotations.
Yeah, I mean, that's essentially what they have here. Elise and Ari, both extremely strong champions in that mid game, catching people out in unwarded jungles.
Yeah.
And then on the other coin, you got SS Boosted Friendship. I mean, it technically is like a double AD composition. I never like to consider Corki like sort of an AD carry. Yeah, technically he's classified as a marksman, but he just does so much magic damage. So I just view him as a caster in the mid lane.
Yeah,
I mean,
or caster in the bot lane.
Yeah.
I mean, he's the carry. He's the AD, one of my favorite AD carries in the bot lane. So I mean, I like casters.
Yeah.
But I mean, we get this definitely like this bot lane really wants to like the Waifu Superstar team really wants to set up a split push with the Nasus and then try to play the macro game where they're orienting around and using Ari and Alistair and Elise to pull off these picks and then either follow them off with a Caitlyn ulti or just kill them off that and then go siege because Caitlyn's really, really good in odd number sieges because of that long auto range, whereas this boosted friendship team definitely wants the team fight. You have the Janet to protect both the carries. Rek'Sai is a fairly good team fighter just to give them initiation and a bit of tankiness. And then this Poppy, like the Poppy ult's really, really strong against this pick-oriented team. Because like if you can remove either the Ahri or the Nasus in a team fight, they're especially the Nasus. Like the Nasus is not getting back in a team fight if he gets Poppy ulted.
Yeah, that's true. And he can get kited so easily, and you're going against Vayne and Janna, which I think is why you said earlier you didn't like the Nasus pick into the Vayne, because not only does she have a good tool to disengage with Condemn, but I mean Janna's going to be sitting on top of Evelite this game. So it's gonna be tough for Swift to do like reliable damage in the team fights.
Yeah, and like he's gonna be building Quicksilver this game because of the fact that like you have a Nasus, you have an Ahri, you have an Elise. Those are 3 champions where Quicksilver is very, very good against all of them.
Yeah, so, I mean, the hard CC from Ahri and Elise, and then just that Wither with it is just like so debilitating.
Yeah, so like those are all like really, really good things where the Quicksilver is really nice against. Obviously, Alistair doesn't get affected by Quicksilver Sash, which is really nice and part of his power, but yeah, I think we'll probably be seeing, if we do see actual team fights going on, we'll definitely be like trying to watch out for Tree going on to Evelite.
Yeah, absolutely, and minions, or monsters I should say, have spawned out. I guess minions spawned before monsters, but here we go. We are starting the first game of Week 6 SBL Season 7. Hoping for a good game this game. I think this is going to be a pretty action-packed game.
Yeah, I think this could be a very good game.
pretty normal stuff starting off here. Junglers both started in the bot side, in the bottom lanes, helping them out with that first camp. A lot of trading going on in the top lane. On the Wind is winning so far. And Grasp of the Undying, man, there's so many Reddit threads now about the Sunfire, Iceborne Gauntlet, Grasp of the Undying, Corrupting Potion bullshit that's going on right now. But it really does sort of change the landscape of top lane.
Yeah,
Ooh,
it's a
Train
very
going in,
hard
double headbutt onto Evelite and Respect. Evelite just did not respect Tree, just walking up to him. And
That is exactly what that bot lane kind of wants to see there. The earlier you can get that Vayne low, the more you can afford to take slightly unfavorable trades to put damage onto her, because of the fact that you have this HP buffer. And because once she gets low enough, she can't all in you.
right.
And then that's when Caitlyn really drives the lane.
And with that unfavorable trade, Evelite is zoned away from this first wave here. So he's just gonna wait to crash that into his tower. Hopefully he last it as well as he can under this tower. He has John Shield, so a little boosted AD should help.
I mean, if he does last it perfectly, he's only down 2 CS across the entire wave, so we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, but so far already down about 10 CS so far.
Well, he's got a very large wave there, so that wave can probably bounce back. I mean, if you look right now, he has 7 minions left. So we'll see how close he's able to get that. Obviously, he's going to get poked and harassed while trying to get these minions under tower.
Yeah, absolutely. Kragan opting to do an extra camp after getting double buffs here. He is in this mid-river now. He's taking a peek over into the enemy side jungle, lays down a ward. I'm just watching the minimap for these jungler map movements, and Dubdome is in this top lane here. He does tunnel over the wall here, flashes and gets the knockup onto Swift. Swift has to flash back, red buff ticking, but it won't be enough. But he baits out the top laner flash. I'd say that's a win for on the win, Poppy.
I would definitely agree with that. You want to put this Nasus down as far as a hand before he starts scaling. And trading the jungler flash for the top laner flash here is really good, because that says you shove up and I will gank you again now. So now Nasus has to play even more carefully, because he doesn't have a flash advantage against on the win in trades, and he has to respect Dubdome all that much more now.
Yep. Kragan was up there to answer the wave to that top lane. Still hasn't really ganked a lane yet. He has just been farming it up. I'd expect him to go put some pressure on mid lane, maybe get Wing snowballing here against a Corki. Dubdome was mid lane, spotted out.
Yeah, the thing is where Wang's wave positioning has been throughout this entire time, he hasn't had a very good gank opportunity at all. Corki, by the time he was able to come by and gank the Corki had Valkyrie, and the wave has never been in a safe position where you're able to convert anything off, anything more than a little bit of, like, a very, very small amount of damage, so...
So far, things have pretty much evened out. Gold is exactly even, but Tree with a big headbutt pulverize to start a fight in the bottom lane here. John Shield didn't actually, I think it was a little late, so it didn't really negate a lot of the damage there, but Evelite's still coming on the bad end of these trades.
Yeah. I wonder if that was almost a miscommunication, because every once in a while, oh, that Janus Shield was late there. Sometimes it's like actually good to put the Janus Shield late, because you want that AD buff on when you go to trade back at them. Because like this damage is already happening for sure, so what you do is you shield them afterwards, they go and you trade a little bit, they hit damage onto your Janus Shield, whereas you get this boosted damage onto them.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, it's down 15 CS so far, but I mean, for a Vayne, when you are playing against such a hard lane matchup as Caitlyn, you might just consider this a win because you haven't died yet. As long as you can keep the laning phase going and you can just keep farming up and hopefully extend it out into like that 20-minute range, I think that'll be fine for Evelite.
See, normally that wouldn't be too big of a problem, except for the fact that if you look at their first buys, Caitlyn's coming back with a BF sword, whereas Vayne's coming back with 2 long swords.
Oof, yeah.
That's literally double the stats.
Yeah.
On a more difficult to buy item as well. Like that back for Caitlyn is far better.
Why do you think he didn't go Vamp Scepter first? He is going Blade, right?
Well, he might have not had money for Vamp. Oh no, he got 3 health pots.
Yeah.
I mean, the Vamp Scepter at the beginning doesn't heal for a ton because you don't have a lot of AD, so you're actually only getting like 7 or 8 HP in auto.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, that's
whereas the
pots
pots,
might
and you have to
go
put
for
yourself
the
in a
distance.
dangerous position to heal with them, so he might have just been like, this is like a really, really safe buy. But something I'm really surprised by is normally in those situations you try to go get a call.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that is the sort of the de facto. You know, I didn't have enough for my main item. I'm just gonna get call first back,
Yeah.
and that scales. I mean, the call is actually just straight up. As long as you aren't trying to fight, it is a very good item. The gold does transfer very well into the mid game. It's like 350 gold, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I say, it's also like, it also just gives better stats than a longsword for this, like, his situation in the game.
Ooh, we have Zhao in the bottom lane here, looking for the double boost onto Salvo and Trey. He tunnels in. Here we go. The fight begins with Condemn. Actually, condemns Salvo further away from the fight, and there's no fight to happen. Evelite looking for the Condemn into the wall, but just like the Silver Veins that I've watched, he doesn't do it. Some good bot lane wards out of Y for Superstar,
Yeah.
so they see this moving up from Zhao. Thor maybe trying to steal the blue buff over the wall.
He should have just committed. You gotta do the Q and the R there. Go for the big steal.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Oh, Zhao goes over the wall into my Wang. He gets the knockup down. Charm lands onto Thor, but Wang has to flash out with the last auto. Red buff actually
Red
got the
buff
kill for
finished
Zhao there. So first blood going over to SS Boosted Friendship.
That was really, really good. Wang should have known to go the wrong way. Like, the second that he went to go get blue, they know he's going to try to come back to lane ASAP because he's got a big minion wave coming, and they planned that beautifully. Wang got greedy because he knew that they knew. He knew they knew because, like, Thor tried to steal the blue. But he saw those minions, and he wanted it so badly, and they just punished him beautifully for it.
Yeah, on the win, Swift get into a big engagement up here. Poppy Elf knocks him up momentarily. Nasa's ult is popped. Swift has that flash again, and he flashes out to save his life once again here. But Dubdrum, he is all over the map so far. He's visited every lane. Wow, really good gank pressure out of SS's Friendship, and I like this.
There's like the biggest, like the two big things in this game right now is this Caitlyn has a solid 20 CS lead and is doing very well in the bot lane, and the other thing is how much more pressure Dubdrum is putting on the map.
Zhao goes on to Swift and on the win, tanking the tower, so another kill going over to Zhao in this game.
Dubdrum is putting so much more pressure on than Kragan. Both these champions have a lot of really early game pressure, but Kragan has been like pretty much non-existent and only has 4 more CS to show for it.
Yeah.
Like,
Squeck walks close to the bush there. He had it warded and he gets a free headbutt pulverize back into Salvo, and he lays down the deeps.
both teams traded exhaust there.
Yeah. But Squeck coming on the unfavorable end there, but he's got some headshots taken.
However, the Summoner Spell trade was in favor of Boosted Friendship. The exhaust from the Tree Salvo side of this is much more important than the exhaust from the Squeck side of this.
Oh, Thor comes in with a package, and Salvo with the Respect Flash. Not going to get burned tonight. And even the mid laners gank it, man. SS Boosted Friendship, they are all about winning these lanes.
Yeah, they're doing a very, very good job about making up for... They're playing their strong lanes very, very well.
Right. I guess, yeah, they're trying to win the mid and top lane, but that package down there was just to alleviate pressure. And it's amazing that they actually got Salvo's flasher, so that actually will definitely help Evelite Respect down here.
Well, he needed a flash. If he didn't flash there, he would have maybe had
Oh,
to
Respect with the flash. Salvo gets condemned into the wall. Evelite is feigning. He's going in. He's trying to lay down the damage. Summoner Guild comes out, but it's not going to be enough. Salvo goes down, and now it's Tree in a 3v1 situation. He's trying to run back. Alistar ult is down. Has the flash, but he flashes too late, and he goes down as well. Third kill for Zhao this game on the win. In a fight with Swift up top here. My Wang pays a visit. On the win, flashes early and dodges the charm. Auto's not going to be enough, and he gets away from My Wang on the gank. 4-0 for SS Boosted Friendship to start this game off.
Oh, that's never what you want to see there. The fact that they just had an uncontested 2 kills for none onto the top lane. Swift is going to be able to do some damage on this, but on the win, this probably just, he probably won't be able to take it all the way here. So, and Boosted Friendship's going to take Dragon for that. That's a very, very big fit trade in their favor.
Yeah, I mean, they just came out ahead on all of these trades.
Yeah.
Great playmaking on Respect's Jana there.
Yeah.
That flash monsoon to get him into the position into the wall.
For the contender, that was very, very good. And they were able to do that because they blew the flash from the previous gank, which was a very smart flash from Salvo, even though it looks really dumb afterwards. Because of the fact that if Salvo wouldn't have tried to flash there, he would have gotten hit by the package. He probably would have had to burn a Thunder Spell anyways to get out. And even if he didn't, like somehow did, he's gonna take a ton of damage, and he probably had to go recall anyways. And he really wanted to try and stay to have that lane pressure.
Right.
Unfortunately, they got ganked. There was a great play from this boosted friendship team, and they're able to capitalize on blowing Thunder Spell on the previous gank.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, it's really the little things. Like, when you flash in that situation, you're like, okay, I had a flash, saved my life. Corki package didn't get me, but, I mean, some heads-up play from SSB's friendship to realize that and come back right away and make a big play, really, on a lane that I think Waifu Superstar thought they had in the bag. I mean, still the CS lead is still very large, and this Galen is still in a very good position. He has got that pickaxe and Cloak of Agility now, where the Vayne is only sitting on the recurve and Bilgewater Cutlass. But in an extended trade, I think Vayne will still come out ahead.
Yeah,
Maybe.
until the Caitlyn finishes up that IE, the Vayne will win an extended trade, assuming she has the ulti. The ulti gives her a lot of free AD. That extra attack speed with the free AD really adds up.
Yep. Thor now almost 20 CS up on Wang here, and Wang went with the Abyssal Scepter first on that
He's
Ahri.
only like 13 CS.
Oh, okay, well,
Yeah. But yeah.
15, almost 20. The Abyssal Scepter first, and not opting to go for like a mana regen item. Is this matchup specific against Corki?
That's actually a fairly common thing in the Ahri, for Ahri, but this is not a matchup where you need to get it. Like, rush it that hard. Normally it's for when you're trying to heavily duel people or you're worried about their poke. It's really, really strong against people like LeBlanc or other people who have a lot of magic damage.
Yeah, and like basically just almost 100% magic damage, and also burst oriented. Where Corki, like you stated, is doing also his mixed damage, physical damage as well.
Yeah. No, this is not a matchup where you want to rush the Abyssal. The Abyssal can be a very strong pickup against it because of the fact that like it gives you early pens. Like Abyssal plus Sword Shoes, and like you're doing true damage against a lot of people at the early game if they don't go Abyssal. But that's like the only thing I could think of is SBL for the dragon fight, but that's not a standard pickup here against this team. Like they don't have a lot of magic damage. The only other person who has much magic damage is Poppy, and she doesn't even have that much.
All right. Gotta watch out for that Sunfire cape damage here. As is with the friendship, they're making an aggressive stance in the enemy jungle here. They will try to steal this blue buff away, and it does go over to Zhao Wei Zhao. He does smite it away. And so Wang on that Ahri is going to be without a blue buff. And Thor had a blue buff already. So that's, I mean, he's pretty much, he can just push the lane endlessly and roam on that Corki. Maybe he's just doing that, waiting for that package.
I mean, Thor is happy in any situation in this lane. He just completed his Triforce, so he matches up really, really well against Ahri. He has to be careful of the all-in potential, because that Abyssal does give Wang a lot of burst.
Ubersquack steps on that trap and gets headbutt, or pulverized, and then Tree headbutts Evelite away. Zhao Wei Zhao here for the gank, and Salvo and Tree will back away. So it's almost a 2k goal lead for SS Boost's friendship now at 15 minutes into the game. You know, Swift in the top lane, he's on that Nasus. He's still stacking. He only has 19 stacks. Is that a
No,
a
he's
lot?
at 192. If you look over, if you hover over it, it's unfortunately, because the way it is in the spectator client, it only can show 2 numbers on it, so it shows the first 2.
Oh. All right. Well, 201 then.
Yeah.
So I'm, you know, honestly, I never figured out what the good benchmarks are for Nasus.
300 at 20. Is
300
like
at 20.
That's the most like considered standard benchmark for what you want to have on Nasus at like medium to high level play.
Okay. Zhao Wei Zhao takes another chip into the top lane. It is warded though from Waifu Superstar. Kragan is here to help out Swift and make sure he doesn't get repeatedly ganked again. Swift he does have that flash now as well. Actually, everyone in the game has flash, so
Yeah, we have all summoner spells up for both sides.
yeah.
Which means both teams are probably trying to look to force something. We have Dragon up in a minute, so that could be the next target. or possibly someone might try to make a play onto one of the towers on the outer side lanes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that dragon's up in less than a minute. I don't think any of these towers are anywhere close. I mean, some of them are chunked down to half health. Oh, actually, the bottom tower, bottom tier 1 tower. Oh, actually, gank in the mid lane here. Thor just laying down some damage on Wang, but he will use Spear Rush to get away. Or he doesn't actually, he just walks away.
That's really good. This is actually like one of the situations that's really weird. You'd actually probably want to burn Flash over Spirit Rush if you're getting ganked there. Because the dragon's up in less than a minute, and you need to have your Spirit Rush for that dragon fight if you intend to fight it.
Right.
Just Ahri, in those mid-game fights, Ahri with ult versus Ahri without fault is just night and day. There is just huge difference.
Yeah. Yeah, without that mobility to maybe do the backline and charm one of those important targets, Ahri really just becomes a little bit of burst damage.
I mean, she's still really solid without the ulti. She's obviously not just totally tied into that. And Flash does grant her some mobility, but like the thing is with the ult in those dragon fights, like you can just try and force something and then get out free. At that dragon fight.
Yep,
and something that's really underrated in Ahri's kit is like if they're just trying to like dance around it, you can just go ahead and try an ult charm, and if you don't hit, you can throw your Q out, go get your W. If they try to engage on you, you W back. Otherwise, you just kind of sit there and kite around. Because it lasts for 10 seconds, so you have a lot of time to use all 3 of those ult charges. You don't have to blow them all right away.
Right, and I think that might be the thing that separates good Aries from great Aries is good Spirit Rush use. So I see a lot of Aries just sort of blow all of it right away just to get the damage. And I mean, obviously in some situations you want to do that, but it's kind of like Curtain Call with Jhin. I've noticed that you don't always have to launch all 4 of them right away. You can sit on this. It's one of those abilities where it does actually allow some outplay potential.
Yeah, that is 100%. That is like a perfect analog to that.
Well, so both teams are still farming up here, still in their lanes, which once again I think favors the exclusive friendship composition here. Tree with a headbutt away from Evelite, and the teleport comes in on the wind, is coming in with the Poppy. He does have that W activated, and damage is continuously laid down to Tree. He had to pop the ult, and now the flash to get away. Salvo had to flash away from on the wind, and both flashes down for the waifu superstar bot lane, and Zhao out wants to join in on the push here. So we have 4 members down here hammering down on this bottom tier 1 tower here. Headbutt gets Rek'Sai out of the fight, but on the wind he's behind enemy lines. He gets headbutted and he has to flash away. The Poppy ability. Oh, what the hell? Why are you coming in? He gets exhausted, but he gets the kill on the wind. He's going in. Spirit Rush is activated. That's exclusive friendship. They're trying their best to get away, and a double kill for Wang. Evelite couldn't get out of the way, and Zhao goes down now. So it's 0 for 3 in favor of waifu superstar, and Thor is in the mid lane pushing it down.
Red team's turret
That was a
has been
really,
destroyed.
really nice play from Seth's good friendship until they got too greedy and they pushed too far in. They blew a flash. They blew both flashes. They blew Tree's ultimate. They blew a heal. They could have gotten Dragon, or they could have just like taken the summoner spell advantage. But then they decided like we need to go push past them. We need to dive them, and then they weren't all on the same page, and they got punished for it. Like excellently. It was a very good punish.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the second on the wind, and I guess Rek'Sai also went in there. He tunneled past the tower, just to try to zone. But the good counter TP coming in from Swift, to really turn that fight around. Yeah. So now the game's all tied up, and just a very, very slight goal lead now for waifu superstar. They didn't pick up the dragon in that altercation, so it was just 3 kills, while Exclusive Friendship traded the mid tier 1 tower for it.
Yeah, that was mid for bot and the 3-kill advantage. They even up the towers. They both traded a tower, but they got the kills to make up for that lack of advantage. And then...
Yeah, Wayne came out
Yeah.
really well on top of that. He got 2 kills, and now he's had the Morella Nomicon on top of the Abyss. So with Sorcerer Shoes.
Yeah, that's normally... So normally you get the Morella Nomicon first, or at least you get the CDR part of the Morella Nomicon, because CDR helps Ahri's kit so much, and then you go get the Abyssal.
Right.
Is what's pretty standard.
Zhao died for the first time in that game after an incredible 3-0 start. He's got that Cinderhulk Tracker's Knife, and he's got Boost of Swiftness and a very early Alacrity upgrade on his boots. He's working on that Legion, which does fairly well against the enemy team composition. It's nothing too crazy value-wise, but I guess the Dragon just picked up for free there from SBL Friendship. They had the wards down, and Superstar's not there to contest.
That was really nice, and that was a really good decisive call. And to go back to the Aegis, I mean, it's pretty decent against them. The big things are is it helps mitigate that Abyssal Scepter in team fights.
Yeah, Swift really just hammering down on the wind. The laying down that ward was a little risky, it appears.
Yeah. While we see Swift being a little bit behind, I actually have 300 at 22. He's doing fairly well for himself. He's a little bit behind the benchmark, but not by much. And he's a little behind what you want to have for your CS benchmark, but it's definitely not bad considering he has 9 over his lane opponent. And as we saw there, he was doing great in the fight.
Yeah.
Put a lot of damage very quickly on the wind.
And Waifu Superstar, they're all rotating over into this mid lane, trying to take out some wards as they go, and uncontested mid tower take here. So now 2 towers down for Waifu Superstar, as opposed to the one from Boosted Friendship.
It's really interesting to see we saw 2 uncontested objectives that weren't even had anything trade for both these teams, because that's something that's been really strong about both these teams. I'll get something for free. That's been a very strong part about both these teams' plans. So it's just a little surprising to finally see that happen.
Left hand.
And just like in quick succession.
Yeah. All 5 members of Boosted Friendship, they have a plan and they're executing it. And the plan is to rotate 5 to this top tier 1. And now all 5 members of Waifu Superstar have met them on the rotation here and think it would be an easy tower take with the low wave clear Nasus, but he's got some friends up top. Well, I guess Nasus has Spirit, or what is it? Spirit Rush and Spirit Fire in this game, guys. It's crazy.
So many spirit abilities.
Yeah.
You wouldn't expect it. It's a very spiritual game.
I guess, yeah. And it looks like Boosted Friendship, they're just looking for an opening on these rotations, trying to catch Waifu Superstar out of place, but they are a tight-knit group, both of these teams actually, and they are just rotating 4 for 4 around the map. Evolite, he's always in this bottom lane, and once he sees the rotation, he'll come up away from the lane in case there's a fight, but he has to go back down there now and answer a huge wave coming in. This should help his CS numbers, though.
Yeah, no, that's a very, very big wave.
Yeah, Salvo with that IE and a rapid fire cannon now, so sort of a 2-item core for this Caitlyn right now. I assume he'd be working on... Oh, I thought he would go Hurricane next. What is he? He's got a longsword. Might be a BT.
Yeah, he could be going... Or yeah, there's a couple options here. Normally you just get the Hurricane instead of the rapid fire. So that tells me one of 2 things. Either, I mean, this is Salvo we have to be considering. So... Salvo's a very mechanically gifted player, but he doesn't always think about his builds, and he's not always paying attention to someone doesn't tell him what to build.
Yeah.
So it could be Salvo on autopilot, or if you want to give him the benefit of the doubt, or someone did tell him what to build, is that this team is interested in sieging and not team fighting. Rapid Fire Cannon is a very powerful item in sieging because it gives you that extra auto range. So every single minion wave, you get a safe auto onto that tower, whereas the Hurricane is almost strictly a team fighting Zeo item.
Right, which loses all of its effectiveness if you don't have enemies nearby.
Exactly.
Yeah. Wow, so Evelyn and Respect, they were a 2v1 against Salvo here, and they tried to go in for a little trade, but Salvo just punishing them with the range and the nets and the build over Peacemaker on top of it. He basically just holds off a 2v1 there and saves the tower. There's also, before that, a little rotation into the top lane, but nothing comes of it, so kind of a slow down game now. Both teams are just really looking for an opening, and maybe until that next dragon fight, which we know for an SBL game would kind of make sense.
Yeah.
Oh, Wang coming in the top lane, charms very early and misses on the wind, has to flash out, and he uses that Poppy ult. Ignite is ticking, and it actually will go over to Wang. Wow, that was very, very close. I think it was just one more tick of Ignite that did it, the last one.
Yeah, it was either the last or the second to last. I wasn't paying 100% attention, but it was very, very close.
Yeah. Yeah, so another kill going over to Wang now. He's 3-1-1. He's got the needlessly large rod, so he's in a very good place right now on this Ahri. Evolite and Thor have to be very afraid of getting charmed because it will mean their deaths almost definitely. And Swift, I mean, he's really just staying in this top lane. Back and forth. The Qs are really hammering down on the towers now, and Xiao Zhao trying to do his best to keep that one alive.
Yeah, Vayne has got that Quicksilver stash, which means they are starting to look for this team fight now. Once you get that item, like that's like, okay, I don't have to worry about RH arm or Nasus W. Like you can get the blank one of those completely, especially the blank like Nasus Wither. That really guts Vayne's damage in a team fight.
Xiao Zhao going in, tunnels up, knocks Swift up, and Swift just walk away. He's out of mana. It's time to go back, get some more mana, stack up some more Qs. On the Wind is here in that top lane. Dragon is up right now, and there's 3 members of SS Friendship in this top lane, and Thor will do the job. He'll get that tier 2 or tier 1 top tower, and now it's tied up in towers. He's doing a recall, and I think they're going to do just a straight rotation to this dragon here. The bottom lane's already set up for it. Teleport comes from Swift actually into the bottom tower to answer the wave and to get in position for the dragon. And that leaves Waifu Superstar Jungler in the top lane. Kragan maybe a little bit out of position here because Evelyn and Respective already started this dragon. It's down to half health. On the Wind is there. All 5 members there for SS Friendship actually. And that's an easy dragon, second of the game going over to them.
That's third dragon of the game. Actually.
Oh, third dragon of the game.
Yeah, no, that's very, very relevant for this game. They have a Nasus versus Vayne, both very late game scaling, and this game is, with the pace this game is going, 2 more dragons, that's only 12 more minutes. That's very, very feasible this game.
Yeah, that is a very real win condition coming in for SS Friendship. And they've just, I mean, I don't know if it's really dragon control, but it's just sort of map control altogether because they had that one planned out at least 5 minutes ahead. They wanted to put pressure up in that top tower. Instantly, once you get it, recall and go straight to dragon. Swift had to use a teleport even, so they have a teleport advantage now as well, and they have pressure going onto this mid lane. Swift has to recall. He can't keep split pushing without teleport.
Yeah, that is just like you said. That's not dragon control. This is just Boosted has been playing the map better overall, like throughout this game, for quite some time now.
Yeah, but they're actually down in gold here. Xiao Zhao in on the Wind. They both go in onto the front line for Kragan and Tree. Tree gets incredibly low. He has the Alistar ult pop. He's trying to get into that back line. Jana Monsoon trying to heal up his enemies, but he gets taken down by Salvo. SS Friendship, they're trying to go back in, but they can't. The fight is almost disengaged, but Wang hits a charm at the very end. On the Wind goes down. 2 kills going over to Waifu Superstar, and Kragan propels, trying to get into range, trying to get that cocoon. Fight is over in a 0 for 2, 2 for 0, I should say, in favor of Waifu Superstar once again.
Yeah. No, like I said, their map movements have been better overall. But the thing is that when Waifu Superstar has been making the movement, like where they've pulled over, it's like they've just had one little bit here, one little bit there, where they have just taken a bigger advantage, and they have done more with the advantages that they've got. Like every single time Waifu Superstar has like pulled ahead of them on either a play or a kill or a map rotation, they've gotten more with it every single time.
Yeah, these fights always kind of started and it looks very good in the first half of it going to for SS Friendship, but always turned around. It's just the team composition really for Waifu Superstar that allows them to win these small skirmishes, and after the wins, as you say, after the fights, they get more off of it. They got that tier 2 mid tower down now, so they take a tower lead and a very definitive gold lead of the game actually. 3K now for Waifu Superstar at 31 minutes. But it doesn't seem to set back SS Friendship in confidence. They're still pressuring this map, and it seems like they've sort of gotten deeper into enemy territory for longer than Waifu Superstar.
Yeah, no, well, they're definitely still driving the pace of this game, despite the fact that they are down 2K. There's a whole bunch of different things you can contribute that to, but the most important thing is that is what is going down right now.
Yeah, this Nasus though is becoming a real threat in this game. Xiao Zhao looking for a sneaky knockup, but Waifu Superstar sees that coming. Baron is being pinged by SS Booster Friendship right now. Waifu Superstar, they have that Scuttle Crab already down, so they know that's happening. They also have a ward in the Baron pit itself, and a pink ward there. So Swift and the gang already ahead of that thought and warded up that Baron.
Yeah, Swiss teleport is almost back up, so they do have their teleport advantage for Essence Booster Friendship is going downhill now. It is being mitigated.
Yeah. Yeah, both top laners are now in the bottom lane. And both teams eyeing up this Baron. Thor's in the top lane pushing it freely. Salvo going up there to answer.
Yeah, no, and then very interesting to see how this is. I don't think Poppy can reasonably fight the Nast at this point. Oh, we see the teleport coming
on
up.
The wind. Teleports into the Baron pit, and the Baron has been started on the wind. Is doing his best to try to zone the enemy team, but the teleport comes in from Nasus as well, and Swift is in the front lines, and he teleports in and gets immediately knocked through the wall. Xiao almost dead. He has to retreat back into the back lines, and Viper Superstar, they keep going strong. Tree is just taking all of his damage with the Alistar ult. Thor actually taking out Kragan on the backside. Wang gonna pick up Evelite, and now one carry down for Essence Boosted Friendship. There's 3 dead for them, only 1 for Waifu Superstar, and the fight continues. Caitlyn ult comes out. Thor flashes and blocks the Caitlyn ult, but respected Jonas shield. I'm pretty sure it would have blocked it and have kept him alive.
I like what the thought was there from Boosted Friendship. The execution, however, was lacking.
Yeah, he actually
if
buried
On the Wind
two,
hit
I think,
anyone that wasn't Tree there, that could have been really, really big. Or if he even just sandbagged it, like, I think like what he could have done is like, I teleported there first, we start this, once Nasus TP comes in, I fucking hammer away the Nasus, because I know exactly where he's coming. He doesn't have a chance to dodge this. Like,
yep. So, On the Wind starts this fight off, you know, by teleporting into the Baron pit and saying like, hey, we're doing this now. Let us fight at the Baron pit. And, you know, Swift sees this and he has to answer the teleport with that ward right by the wall there. And I don't know if that was like all, I mean, obviously they can't choose Waifu Superstar to put the ward there, but they saw that happening. It looks like they just sort of positioned in a way to stun him into the wall and just take him out right away after he teleported in. But with all the emphasis on Nasus, you have the carries in the backline, Salvo and Wang, they just went wild.
Something also to point out is that he got a huge Q onto Vayne right at the start of that fight, so Janet had to blow the ult early. Like, he got onto the Vayne way faster than he should have been able to as an Nasus.
Yeah, okay, that's what I did see. I remember seeing someone's health pool go down really fast, but then I thought it was Evelite, but then he's full health again. It was just from the Monsoon and...
The Monsoon and auto-attacking, but
yeah.
They had to blow the Monsoon way earlier than they wanted to, and I'm pretty sure he probably also borked there. I was not 100% watching that. There was a lot going on.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, once again, just a really well-done fight from Waifu Superstar. They just seem to be the better team-fighting team. Essence Boosted Friendship, they have some good ideas here, but just execution-wise, Waifu Superstar always coming out ahead. And now there's a fight for this Dragon. Salvo's in the Dragon pit. He's laying down the damage. Wang gets knocked away from the fight. Evelyn doing his best to try to kite the fight, trying to stay alive as this Vayne. Xiao has to flash out from Nasus on the wind. Will get queued up by Nasus and Thor and Xiao. They are too low to continue this fight. First Dragon going over to Waifu Superstar, and no one has died yet.
That's a really big dragon to get for Waifu Superstar. They have the gold lead already. They deny them the other team the realistic potential of having a 5th dragon. And they also get the flat percentage boost, which matters more the later the game goes on, just because it's
right,
percentage
exactly.
boost.
There's tons of value from this first dragon at 35 minutes. I mean, once again, Essence Boosted Friendship chooses to fight, and I think they played that one a little bit better by the fact that no one died. But I don't see how they're like what the option is to try to do damage to their carries. Evelite's never in a position to do anything, and Thor, you know, he's also sort of a short to medium range carry, aside from maybe rockets, and just this huge beefy front line. Nasus and Alistar just keep him out of the fight. Same with Kragan on that at least.
Yeah. So the people asking, the very first dragon buff is 6% additional AD and AP. The second dragon buff is you get a slight damage burn on turrets over 2 seconds. The third one's 5% move speed. The fourth one is you take 20% less damage from turrets. And the fifth one is that it literally just doubles all the other bonuses you have for 3 minutes and gives you a slight true damage burn on enemies for the next 3 minutes.
Which, like you stated earlier, that 5th dragon buff against someone like an Alistar or Nasus is incredible. I mean, all of those combined really will shut down tanks in the late game. So 4 members strong for Waifu Superstar in this mid lane, and Essence Booster Friendship, they try to start the fight, but Zhao Wei Zhao is headbutted. Alex Swift uses that teleport on the mini wave in the middle lane here. Respect in a bad place, trying to get out. Wang goes in, Spirit Rush, but he gets stunned in against the wall, and Thor with a shutdown onto Wang.
That is what they needed to do in team fights. They took a little bit to realize that when finally pulled off what they wanted.
Oh, Zhao Wei Zhao gets cocooned up in the mid lane by himself, gets headbutted back, and he goes down for free. But Tree gets really low, has to flash out as well. On the wind is now the target. AJS0 on this Nasus, he's going strong, he has the ultimate. Cocoon goes wide. He might be able to survive here. Caitlyn ult comes out, does nothing against his tank poppy at this stage in the game. And Cocoon will actually land. Swag trying to peel for his teammate, but it will not be enough. Kragan picking up that kill on the back end. So overall, actually a 1 for 2 at the end of the day. Oh, actually, yeah 1 for 2.
Yeah, it was 1 for 2. That fight was excellent until that dub jump got caught at the end there. On the Wind got an excellent copy on both Nasus and Alistar, which is like perfect ult.
Oh, when the fight starts, Thor package onto the backline, he goes in. Tree already went down, Thor has to flash out, and Evelite gets a stun onto Kragan. Salvo and AJS are the only ones remaining. Respect is here on Jada to do the kiting, double kill for Evelite, and he's going in, triple kill for Evelite on the Vayne. And the inhibitor actually did go down and went over to Waifu Superstar, but this prompts for a Baron.
That's gonna be a Baron though. This puts Booster Friendship back in the game.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god, that was huge.
Yeah, and it just looks like a clean inhibitor take and then a straight recall from Waifu Superstar, but the death timer's really working out in favor of SS Boost Friendship and that package. When you pick up package, you get them an extra movement speed bonus after you pick it up, and then it was an incredible backline package, and it pretty much took Tree right out of the fight immediately.
Yeah, that was beautiful. And he survived. He Valkyrie'd again, he flashed out, he survived off that.
Yeah, and so look at this. Now the gold lead for SS Booster Friendship. Very small though, 10 kills to 11. Only down a tower, but they have those 3 dragons, but the big thing right now is they just got Baron buff. They should be able to use that to equalize out this mid lane missing inhibitor. And hopefully get a tier 2 at least, mid or top.
Yeah.
That's really their goal with this Baron.
Oh, someone asked.
The chat says 582.
Yeah. He's at 582 stacks. I was about to point that out. I was waiting for a good moment in the break of the action. While this game is going along and it is looking a lot better for Boosted Friendship, this Nasus is still growing, and he is pushing on almost 600 damage now. He will almost assuredly hit it from this wave in the bot.
Jesus.
Those are some big cues. After this minute, he has broken the 600 mark now.
Oh my god, that's gonna be disgusting. A carry from SS Booster Friendship cannot afford to get hit by one of those.
No.
Line drawn in the sand here by Salvo with his trap placement.
Yeah, that is the power of Caitlyn in a siege. It's very obnoxious. And honestly, you can just kind of advance that line also if you're on the offense, or if you're on the defense, you just kind of keep it up and you stay the hell. You come in all range of my tower, you're gonna get stunned by a trap. You get stunned by a trap, I will hurt you.
Yeah, there's actually no way that SS Booster Friendship can advance forward in that lane. They can't afford to get trapped and get CC chained essentially from cocoons and headbutts and charms. There's actually a lot of CC now that I'm realizing that for Waifu Superstar, that they've chained together consistently in these fights. On the Wind taking out a ward, he is being seen though by that trinket ward, and now there's 3 or 4 members. It looks like there was trying to be a top lane push with those Baron minions, Baron up the minions.
Waifu Superstar is doing a great job of mitigating any pressure from these Baron minions. But they finally have gotten onto a tower, and the first one will fall.
Wang Spear rushes in, tries to lay the charm down onto the tanks, the front line for SS Booster Friendship. Poppy ult comes out, knocks Wang away, and that's a win at the end of the day for SS Booster Friendship. Getting that mid tier 2, tied up in towers now, and yeah, there's only so much you can do from a split push with Baron buff now.
However, they will secure the 4th dragon, and all of a sudden this game looks very reasonable still for them to get a 5th.
Oh god, this game is gonna be decided by a team fight. I just know
Yeah.
it. This game is so close right now.
Yeah, no, this is either of these teams could win on just the back of a single team fight.
Yeah.
And it doesn't even have to be like a solid win, just like one team fight where you have an additional person on the other one. If it's the right person, that's the game.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
obviously, if you get a full 5-man ace, that's just like if it's 5 for 3 or 5 for 2, that game's just done.
Yeah. And that mid inhibitor is still not up for boosted friendship. It's over halfway now, but I mean it's really just a clear victory path for Wi-Fi Superstar. Like you said, if there is a potential ace on the field, it's just an easy victory. At the state of the game right now, death timers at this point are just so gross. They're so like there's really no way to survive from 42-minute ace. But luckily, folks, that is being changed this next patch.
Yeah. I mean, that's really big, and then, oh man, for that 5th dragon, it could be very, very relevant. Rek'Sai takes for example, Rek'Sai or Poppy takes 40% less damage from a turret. They already ignore them. Now they really ignore them. Like,
Yeah.
if a 5th dragon buff on any of those champions, we're like, even if you just get an auto, oh, we got an auto on it. Now this Outringer takes, 360 magic damage over the next couple seconds, like 2 seconds. You don't give a crap about towers anymore. You don't like towers are more just these things that you have to go to get gold.
Right.
They're the bank. They become banks when you have the 5th dragon.
Just standing banks waiting to be robbed. Very easily. It's like the bank had no defense system anyway.
Yeah, no, the bank's got no defense system. The only thing that can come is if the police show up fast enough to stop you from robbing the bank.
Yeah.
The police being the Wi-Fi Superstar squad in this case.
I think we just made the best analogy for towers in the current state of the game. So we're at the nearly 44-minute mark. 2K goal lead for SS Boosted Friendship on the win. He's out a little further than he needs to be. Gets cocooned, gets charmed, gets pulverized, gets headbutted back, and on the way to flash the wall. But my way with the last auto, he dies for free. Just trying to put pressure on the lane.
At the very least, that is an inhib for Wi-Fi Superstar. It's gonna take them a long time to walk over there. Luckily, On the Wing got caught like at the farthest possible map, and they have a gigantic wave in the bot lane. So that's like the only good thing going for this, though. But by the time I take this inhib, it's still gonna be another 25 to 30 seconds until On the Wind's up. That just removed all the momentum that Boosted Friendship had for a bit. Like, they have to wait for their inhib to come back up again. They lose this beautiful split push side wave.
Yep, free inhibitor for Wi-Fi Superstar, and that's all they wanted. That's all they really needed right now, and that was sort of given to them. I mean, On the Wind was out of place, but a small mistake like that that's punished at this stage of the game will really go lengths.
I say they're still very lucky. He's up very soon. Baron's not up for another minute, so he didn't give them anything super vital.
Yeah, Thor.
But it is
with
not
this package now,
where you want to be.
he's looking for the fight, looking for some sort of fight because they want to fight right now. Before the middle lane gets pressured in by those siege minions, coming in, or super minions actually, Baron up in 40 seconds, and you gotta imagine there's gonna be a fight around this Baron right now. They're both teleports up for both top laners, but flashless on the wind, which might go a long ways. It's really it's the only summoner spell that's down right now in the game.
Oh man,
this is gonna be so intense. I mean,
this is gonna be a 50-minute game.
There's really potential for that, and Nasus stacks are gonna get a lot higher than I even imagined they could. It's 744 right now for AJS Hero.
He's closing in on the 4-digit bonus mark.
Oh.
If it gets to there, I God help us all. I don't even want to know. I don't want to be watching a game where Nasus has enough time to farm 250 more stacks. But at this rate, it might happen.
Yeah.
We have people setting up for Baron though. AJS are with the TP going onto that bot lane.
Yeah, lay down tons of wards in that side, and a cute little curved line of traps there.
Yeah.
So it allows them to fight near that Baron pit, but if they they need to kite back, you can't. SS Friendship can't follow them back into that jungle or even back into that mid lane.
The sweeper comes out, hits all 3 wards, just like, oh, holy shit. This place is like a Christmas tree. It's lit up.
Ness just did a Q on the win there, but maybe this is actually a better note on how good of a tank Poppy is, because that did like nothing to him. It does everything to Evelite or Thor.
Yeah.
But
I mean, this Poppy's got like 140 MR, so she's taking like 60% reduced damage, and this Nasus has basically no magic pen. So for her, it's only hitting her for like, 400, and she's already got a ton of health, and then she's also just a really good tank.
yeah.
But on the other hand, when you get like Thor, who has, 90 MR, gonna hurt.
Wow, this is so intense now. It's both teams that are looking for a game-ending team fight right now.
Actually, I don't know. Is Siphon this like physical or magic?
I assume it's physical.
I think it's physical. Either way.
Yeah.
So that explains even more, because Poppy's got like 400 armor.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, and the Baron started. There actually is no wards in the Baron pit for Friendship, so I don't know if they know. They don't know. This is happening.
It's gonna be a free Baron. Oh no,
going
they're
over
Dragon for it. That's
yeah,
what's going on.
Oh man, folks, we're at 48 minutes in this game, and we just had Baron traded for Dragon. So 5th Dragon coming out for Essence of Friendship, but first Baron of the game going over to Waifu Superstar, and they do have that mid hip down on Essence Friendship's base, and they have an easy rotation over on this huge wave, easy tier 2 tower going over to them.
That local county bank placed too far away. That shit got smacked the fuck up.
Oh, Thor has the Valkyrie out.
Oh, we get Dub Drum.
Getting into the danger zone. Xiao is totally in the back line right now. Kraken flashes and I assume misses the cocoon there on trying to catch Xiao in the back line. So he baits something out. Swift had a teleport into the fight actually, and so On the Wind does have TP now. They have a TP advantage, but I don't know how far he can really go because teleport is kind of a long channel.
Like our bank analogy is just even getting more and more real, because with the Baron buff or the 5 Dragon buff and just how late in the game it is, these towers have nothing to defend. Even the minions are just like, Baron minions, we'll take your money.
Yeah, they're doing everything and more to this tower right now, and Xiao tries to go in, HS0 caught out, he gets stunned into the wall, has an SSL going, he has the flash to get away, in the Condemn. Will it be another thing? Taking Evelate
The Dragon Bird!
Gets the kill! No, that's a Dragon Buff! The mid-Dragon Buff gets the kill onto HS0 as the fight continues. Savile gets caught out. Thor picking up that kill, so 2 dead already for Waifu Superstar, and there goes Tree. This might be the game. Evelate is unstoppable.
This is gonna be the game.
This
oh my
is
god,
the
that's
game.
3 for none.
Dragon Buff. Kraken doing his best to scuttle away. I don't know if it's gonna be enough, and I don't think it will be.
The cops are down.
Oh,
there's no cops to protect the banks.
Yeah.
We breaking banks. 5th Dragon. Breaking banks. Look at this tower's gonna go down. They don't even have minions, and it's still gonna melt.
Oh yeah, this like you said earlier, these are the bank has no defense system, and this robber has 600 armor. No, at 412 armor, but it's still a lot of armor, but it doesn't matter.
It's like some guy just showed up and it's just like, oh, we got handcuffs. This guy's just in like a full body like mech suit. He doesn't care.
Break the bank. The SBL bank has been broken into and robbed by Essence with his Friendship. And they will go 3-3 on the season here. Slowly though. I thought this game would be over by now. Shut down, going over the door. There we go. Here's the Nexus. Tree's up, not gonna be enough. And Essence moves in Friendship, taking the game away.
They didn't win many team fights, but when they won those team fights, they made it freaking count.
Wow. 50-minute game, folks. 80k gold for each of these teams, and wow, what a nail biter.
What a game.
Yeah.
What a game.
Oh Jesus. Okay, well, let's get. Who do you want to talk to even?
I still try to like figure out like I don't even know. Have we heard from who on this team? Have we heard from everyone on this team? Actually, first of all,
I believe so.
Okay, so I don't feel like there's not like anyone who
maybe Zhao actually. I've never.
Let's hear from Dub. Actually, he got the early game really rolling for them, and obviously that petered off. But I do want to hear from him.
We got to get one more going here.
Yeah.
So maybe Thor or Evelite.
Let's hear from Thor.
Thor
played really. Wait,
Thor, yeah, let's do Thor, yeah, because he didn't die this game. He went 50 minutes without death, folks. Let's
this guy to your channel.
Hello, and welcome, Zhao.
We'll grab your compatriot real quick.
Yeah, we'll get your
Yeah,
teammate in here.
I'd like my
User was
money
moved
before I
to
get
your
kicked off
channel.
again. Greatly appreciated.
Howdy, gentlemen.
Hi.
So
So,
that was
So
a
that-
game.
So that game was a clusterfuck, in my opinion.
I just want to. So, how was your like emotional stability on this roller coaster? Like at first, like you out jungle the heck out of Kragan, you put way more map pressure, you guys get way ahead, and all of a sudden it goes terribly wrong in the bot lane. They get stuff, you start trading back and forth, and all of a sudden it's a late game, and it's just like, we're looking pretty boned all of a sudden. And then you win this really clutch fight after they take your inhibitor to get Baron. Nothing much happens off that. Win gets picked, and then all of a sudden you win another fight and you win the game because fifth dragon broke Baron. Like, what were your thoughts going through this game?
I cried a little bit after the early game because I started off like 3-1 or 3-0 or some shit like that. And I was like, yeah, we're doing good. And then I was like, wait, I'm Rek'Sai. I shouldn't have these kills. So that was my initial thought process. But the one thing that we kept on was Dragon. And right when we had third Dragon, like in my head, I was just like, all right, this is a fifth Dragon game. There's no other way. This game's not going to be fifth Dragon. Like, we got to play it out this long. So that was my thought process of the game.
Thor, what was going through your head?
just don't get caught was all I was thinking the entire time. It's like, as long as I don't get hit by a charm, a cocoon, a tree flash pulverize on my face, I figured that we could stall it out, because in that last exchange for Baron for Dragon, we gave up on the Baron because we knew that if we got 5th Dragon, it wouldn't matter if they had Baron or not, that we could just take a fight and shove it down mid and win the game.
Okay, so I mean, so you guys knew without a doubt that they were at the Baron
Oh,
pit.
yeah.
Yes.
We knew
Okay.
that they were there. Like, 100%.
Okay. Yeah, and he made the conscious decision to trade the Dragon for the Baron. And, you know, if you asked 10 League players, I don't know if a majority of them would say the Dragon's worth it, the 5th Dragon's worth it, because most people really value that Baron buff. But, I mean, let's just talk about that last fight, because that Dragon buff finished off Swift on the very last tick after he got caught out to start the fight. Like,
The
once
moment
you
I
knew that
saw-
Nasus was down, did you guys know you won the game?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, in my head, I'm like, Nasus is dead, cool. I'm gonna burn Flash. I'm literally just gonna burn everything and just try and get to Salvo. Which then, and Wynn thought the exact same thing, so he flashed and then just whatever the fuck charged him into a wall, then I knocked him up, and then somehow Colin got an auto on him before he flashed out, and it was game over at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was.
Wow. Team composition
That was an
wise,
experience.
you guys picked Vayne. I think that's obviously the very first Vayne pick this season, but Evolite has been known to play Vayne in the past, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he plays a lot of Vayne.
So we weren't paying attention too closely to the pick order, but was that picked before Caitlyn, I assume?
It was picked actually as our last pick.
Oh. In response to
The
Oh,
amount of,
Them not having a way to get to Vayne.
yeah.
and the fact that they had a very large tank line, and there's no one better at killing through tanks than Vayne.
Yeah, I mean, all in that early game, and even in the mid game when you guys started those fights that looked favorable, it was always turned around. And I in my mind, I sort of attributed to sort of the low attack range coming out of your carries, because their front line was just so in your face. But I mean, you guys persevered, and you took the very late game hyper carry to the victory. I don't know where I was going with this thought. I mean, it was a crazy game. I mean, is this the most intense SBL game you guys have had?
Definitely.
Yeah, and then even in terms of like macro play, like I love Swift and all of them, but I think Wind and I can macro play better than they can. So like, especially when he got Zerat Porta, we're just like, okay, we're just gonna slowly just keep getting gold, getting Matt to late game, and then we won.
Yeah,
Alright,
it almost seemed
so-
like you guys purposely like baited out the Swift teleport, where a lot of those like it's sort of deliberate to like, here, okay, we're gonna wait for Nasa's teleport, then we'll choose what to do.
Okay, so later on in the game, we started to realize what our comp actually needed to do, which was bait out ults and summoner spells from their team. So we'd wait for the TP, we'd back off, and then we'd try to re-engage a little bit, get the Alistar ult or the Nasus ult, and then we disengage back, and then go back in. Especially in that last fight, we just waited for Nasus and Alistar to blow both their ults to re-engage upon them and be able to pick up the kills.
Nice. All right.
It
Well,
was a
Alice,
lot
do you
of
have any other?
thinking.
Yeah, Alice, do you have any other questions?
I have two. One on a happier note, and one on a
I think
Sadder
I know the
note.
sad note.
Yeah, I'm sure you will. The happier note is, so you guys are now 3-3. You were second to last off of the last time, but now after today, you will be at the very least tied with all the other teams that lost today with second, and the other 3 teams. And you're only one game behind the 2 or 3 teams that'll be tied for first place. How do you guys feel about that now? Like coming into the second half of the split with your first game down.
Epic, I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you, Epic. I'm calling you out right now. I want this jungle matchup. I want that game again.
Awesome.
All right.
I'm feeling really confident because we're 2-0 on the current first place team, and they look to be crumbling a little bit. So
All right. I mean,
What's your other
they
question?
gave you a decent run for your money, but you guys were able to put them down. And then on a Saturday note, people wanted to call you this out, and I figured I'd let you guys feel good about your win before I like viciously
Yeah.
attack you.
yeah,
So at the start of it all, when it all started going downhill, your team overextended a little bit on the bot tower, and they got brutally punished, especially off the fact that my Wang roamed, and you did not follow Thor.
that is correct. So our call for that play was to try to make a play bot lane, and then as the TP was coming in, we said we need to disengage, and I'd been calling out Wang was going bot. I was told to sit mid and get the turret because they knew it was already going south.
I got too hypey.
Basically, your team got too hypey.
Yeah, it was me. Yeah, we got too hypey,
Yeah.
and then we got 5-man bot, and then we died. It was your typical solo queue. Why the fuck is everybody bot lane?
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Well, I think that'll wrap it up for game 1, folks. And yeah, congrats, Dubjum and Thor, on the victory. And we will take a short break and jump into game 2 soon.